All right, time for this week's Kickstand Picks. You are what you wear. That's the idea behind a new improv show coming at the end of the month. It's called Loose Threads.
Yeah, racks of homemade clothes will determine the characters you'll see on stage, and it is a show sure to leave you in stitches.
I see what you did there.
Yes, here now to weave together a little preview of what you can expect. We have show directors Julie Bask and Courtney Campbell. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
I think this is such a great idea for a show. This is one we haven't seen before. So what inspired the idea of Loose Threads?
Yeah, so Courtney and I are sewists, which means we make a lot of our clothes. We've made these outfits.
Oh my gosh,
So talented.
Off the top reveal.
Wow.
And then we're also seasoned veteran improvisers. And so we got together seeing how could we weave those two ideas together and came up with Loose Threads.
You gotta dive into this more. I mean, what is this concept of blending fashion and your talent as sewists with comedy? This is wild.
Yeah, well, you think about like the clothes that you put on every day can really inform what you want to show the world. And so we think about that from an improv perspective. We have racks of clothes and our characters will just decide, you know, maybe I want to portray this type of character. They put it on and they really transform. And so we get to see the different types of characters that our improvisers can play, and then we see a show from there.
So take me through what you've created and what you're wearing right now. What character are you embodying at the moment?
Ooh, great. So I have some new Nike shoes and my dress on, so I'm like sporty but cute.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
I feel like I'm spring. I feel like Let It Be Spring, maybe like a little like rose garden essence with some bow.
She's ready for the Rose Festival season.
Yes.
We love it.
Yeah.
I think this is a great idea. I mean, former theater kid here, right? It like makes sense in my mind where you always talk about like performers feel like they can really get into character once the costumes are on. So to kind of like flesh out that improv, I think is such a great idea. Now, have you put any like intentionally wacky clothing on the racks? Are there some, you know, some good prompts in there?
Did anybody else see that reaction?
Yeah. Some people may call it wacky, or some may just say like, that's my everyday wear, and that's the beauty of it.
And I think it might be inspired too that I think a different, like how many characters could I be in this garment or something, which I think is really fun.
For sure.
And interesting. Although I do feel like there's a specific garment in rehearsals our cast has been really drawn to, which is this like red burgundy velvet
like a smoking jacket.
Smoking jacket has been a lot of like inspiration for different characters, which has been really fun.
I mean, velvet. It's always going to take it up.
Very classy.
Yeah.
So with this being improv, you know, how does this work? Does somebody just put something on and they just, the first character that pops into their head, and you just yes and your way from there? I mean, how does this happen?
Yeah, I feel like we will ask the audience kind of an initial question.
Okay, so the audience does get involved a little bit.
Yes, at the very top, we'll ask someone, think about an outfit or a garment that has like a deep memory for you or really interesting, and tell us about that. And then our cast will listen and then be inspired to be like, what does that make me think of? And then as they're getting dressed, we have like a dressing room sequence that has some music playing to get people excited. And our cast kind of help dress a single cast member at a time to then like embody and be like, okay, if this person is wearing their smoking jacket, what else would they wear?
What a fun concept.
Like, who is this person? What's their name?
That's really cool. Okay, and so then you're working with Me-Made Clothing. What is that? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so Me-Made Clothing is exactly what Julie and I are wearing today. These are clothes that are made by hand, either for you or for somebody else. It is like slow fashion, if you understand what that concept is. It's, you know, just taking fabric, putting it together, making a garment for yourself or for someone that you love, and that is the me-made aspect of it.
And then you have this like unique one-of-a-kind piece that's perfectly tailored to you. Travis and I do not possess either of these skill, you know, like clothing, sewing, any of this. So I am so endlessly impressed by this.
But that is why you go and watch them and not us for something like this. This is so much fun. Is the show 21 and up? Or is it for anybody?
I think it is 8:30, which I feel like is an indication.
A little later in the evening.
A little early evening, but it's not
exclusively. Okay, just wanted to make sure
if
before
a parent feels cool with that.
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
Why not?
Yeah.
It's been so fun to talk to you both. I love this concept. Very, very unique, and I mean that very endearingly, because I've never heard of this kind of talent being weaved together this way.
I can't wait to see what kind of characters you guys create.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Super fun.
I want that smoking jacket.
Yeah. Well, Julie, Courtney, thanks. If you want to learn more about Loose Threads, they got 3 shows coming up on May 31st, June 7th, and June 21st. Tickets are $9. You can check it out at Kickstand Comedy and learn more about the show. Check out the story on coin.com.